guys.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
There's also this door.
This is Travis and Matt.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Liz. I'm from the WNY.
Mike from the TV station here.
Alex from the paper.
Liz.
Nice to meet you.
Mike from Wire TV.
Matt.
What's up, man? Alex.
Hey,
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Will you tell us if you want to grab this and if you want to pass it to yourself, that'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I had wireless for you guys, but all the wireless in there is kind of interfering with my little junky mic. So hope you guys don't mind in terms of
It's all good.
the wireless. Awesome.
Get you the most comfortable seats.
Turn it off.
I actually remember these. I used to go to school here and they had these in like the lounge or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and in the dorm rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are.
I would go here when my roommate would need to bang.
Need to bang.
You know how that works.
So we want to start off. We noticed that you canceled a couple of shows this fall. We want to know why you decided to keep Oneonta.
I think, to be honest with you, Oneonta would have got canceled too if I didn't get better. I got really sick. I've been hospitalized about 3 or 4 times in the past year. I think a lot of it had to do with just, pushing myself. We tore a lot, you know what I mean? And I think it finally caught up to me, and not really having the best eating habits and not really taking care of myself on the road. After a while, it definitely catches up to you. I myself, unlike Matt, I didn't really take very good care of myself, and like I said, ended up with stomach viruses and all kinds of crazy stuff. So that had a lot to do with me being in the hospital. Due to that, had a lot to do with us canceling those shows. But luckily enough, I got better in time to make Oneonta, because not only is Matt alumni here, but we actually played a show here a long time ago, so it kind of brings back some memories for me.
Yeah. I wonder, does the term alumni...
I'm not gonna hold this thing for you. I'm not
Thanks,
Kurt
Travis.
Loder, bro.
Yeah, I was just wondering if the term alumni counts if I didn't graduate.
Sure it does.
You were here for 3 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
More than most people here.
It is enough. I feel that way as well.
Being you went here for 3 years. What was it like coming back here? Seeing? Did you guys get to go down to town at all, or have you just been locked up for a long time?
I pretty much just came right here. You guys haven't been in town much, have you?
We
Just got here?
just drove here from Albany, so we haven't gotten to really see Oneonta or, I heard it's crazy right now because it's alumni weekend or something. So, yeah, we'll see what happens tonight though.
It was nice because I didn't have to use a GPS to get here. I was just went on memory, which rarely happens.
What are some of your fondest memories being at Oneonta when you were in college?
A lot of, when I was going to school at Oneonta, I was always doing gym class. I had been doing it since I was a freshman in high school with Travis. So I remember being really excited and proud whenever I could bring Gym Class Heroes out here to play a show, because it was this huge part of my life. But at the same time, we were kind of central. We would tend to stay close to home at that point. So getting out here was kind of far away, and it was really cool.
You loved people that didn't know that you were in a band, showing them that you were awesome. Don't front.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely, when I went to school here, I think it was just, thanks, Travis. It was a very obscure time because in the times when I did attend class, it was few and far between. Other than that, I was really motivated and driven for Gym Class Hero. So a lot of the moves we made, I was doing from my dorm room, and, we stayed connected that way. But our first album, Paper Cut Chronicles, I was attending school here the whole time we were writing that album. So, and I think that's like kind of a defining album for us as a band. A lot of people seem to love that album. So it's cool to look back on what I was looking at when, we were creating this specific album.
Was it hard for you to leave school? I mean, obviously you were signed
I would have, yeah, I would have loved to finish school here, and I was already enrolled for my senior year, and I already had signed a lease for an apartment and stuff. But we actually weren't signed when I was going to school here. We were just working really hard and trying to write good music and trying to play as many shows as we could. So, right before my senior year, Fuel by Ramen had offered us a recording contract, and things were really falling into place for the band. And I kind of felt like it was one of those things where you just got to go for it. You know, it's like, of course, it would have been ideal to finish up college and then try and pursue music, but you never know when an opportunity is going to arise. So I think sometimes if it's something that you're really focused on and passionate about, you just got to chase a dream. So it worked out. I actually did go back to college when we were on tour. I went to Boston University and finished up, but I couldn't have done that without my Oneonta experience.
We were partying and living the rock star life. He was in his bunk taking classes online.
So nerdy.
Like a chump.
I actually partied too, though. I wrote a lot of those reports drunk.
Yeah.
As do most Oneonta students as well, I'm sure.
Was there anything at Oneonta that you were a part of other than just focusing on your band, like we were in the house?
I started to do, is it still called MIC? Is that the music committee? Yeah, I went to the first meeting. I never went back. But I really, I went to the meeting so that I could try to get my band, put on a show or something. So I ended up meeting a friend named Khalif Clark, who was, big on, the music industry committee. And he would actually go and lecture, when he was a student, he would go lecture and teach classes on hip-hop. So he was definitely a big brother figure for me. And he was running, he started the hip-hop festival. I don't know if they still do that, but he put our band on a couple years. So yeah, it was great to come get to perform here. And I mean, it's cool because a large cross-section of the college revolves around the music industry. I think that's kind of rare amongst colleges. You don't see that major too often. So yeah.
Did you visit him when he was in college?
I think I came up a couple times, once or twice.
Sure, yeah.
And I mean, whatever excuse I had to get out of Geneva, I would take advantage of. So, I mean, the main reason for me sticking around Geneva was for the band. I had, friends tempting me to go out west, and they were hippies, so they were just kind of just gone with the wind, just doing whatever, and it was really tempting. You know what I mean? Especially coming from a small town, but thankfully I had this thing that kept me rooted. So any chance I got to go out, I'd come here and party in Oneonta or go see friends up at Oswego. And I remember, I do remember the last time that we played here, though. We went to a couple house parties, and I remember being on a Razor scooter, and that's it.
That's usually where most good stories end.
Yeah, that's all I remember. I just remember being on a Razor scooter. Yeah.
All right, well, I want to talk about your first album was Paperclip Chronicles, and your most recent album, Paperclip Chronicles 2. What was the decision to call it, second part, like the continuation of that decision?
It was a direction we wanted to take for a while. We had toyed with the idea of doing a sequel to that album. It's a fan favorite, I think, and it's a super personal album for us too, because we were just broke, dirty kids when we wrote it and recorded it. So, it means a lot to us. And I remember Travis first telling me about the idea to do a sequel album. So, with that in mind, we went in to write for it. So all the songs we wrote with the idea that okay, this, is for this album. And to me, when I think of that record, I think of darker melodies and song concepts and stuff. So that was something we kind of wanted to get back to. A lot of narrative lyrics and stuff like that. I don't know, something we wanted to do for a while, and we did it, and now we'll do something else.
Yeah, on that topic, do you have any plans for the future? Any new music or projects or anything you guys
As far as the band, right now we're kind of slowing down this album cycle, which is great. We've put a lot of time and energy into touring the world and making sure people were aware that we had an album out. So I think we did it, and now it's time to just get back to the drawing board and write new music. We're going to spend the winter doing a bunch of cover songs that we're going to record, and hopefully that stuff will be out in the summer. We're really excited about that.
Do you have any advice for students here trying to do what you do?
I guess if I could give any advice to anybody who's pursuing a career in music, getting signed is not the end-all, say-all. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people think, once I get signed, everything's going to be great. Honestly, I would tell them to stay as self-sufficient and as independent as you possibly can for as long as you can. Because at the end of the day, you can always do what a major label can do for you. So, why, give a good share of that money to someone else when you can just put in the elbow grease yourself and do the work? You know what I mean? When we got signed, things were a little different. You know what I mean? The music industry was a little different. We kind of slid right in the door right before it shut, and before the internet kind of, became this dark cloud over the music industry. So, not to say it doesn't affect us now, but back then it was, we were still very, very self-sufficient. And I think that's part of the reason why we got signed. The labels like, well, if they can, book their own tours and do all this stuff themselves, I wonder what they could do with a little help. So, but I just say, just do what you can for yourself and don't rely on someone else.
I think also don't throw all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. I think with the music industry degree, I wouldn't want to feel limited by that. I think a degree like communications or something that's very all-encompassing can help you achieve the same results and maybe even more different results. So not to knock on that degree, because that was my major when I was going here, but just never be limited and keep progressing.
One last question, and they gotta go.
Yeah, so you're both from upstate New York. If you had to pick one, tomato pie or chicken riggies?
What was the second option?
Chicken riggies.
Well, tomato pie all day. Remember, Monaco's used to have.
So good.
Well, in Geneva we don't call it tomato pie. We call it Chelsea. Was it Chelsea? I think it's called Chelsea Park pizza. I think they call it Chelsea Park pizza. It's basically when the sauce is on top of the cheese as opposed to the other way around, and it's served cold in Geneva, and they put Parmesan cheese on it. It's probably the best thing in the world. So
It's usually got flies around it. That's how you know it's the right stuff.
That's
So
how
good.
you know it's just right if there's enough fruit flies around it.
Thank you. But we were wondering if we can just get a tag from you at the end.
Yeah.
Say who you
Sure.
are and that you are from Oneonta.
Wire TV.
So we were just wondering if you could say, hey, we're from gym class, your name and your name from gym class.
You're watching Wire TV?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Hey, this is Matt.
And I'm Travie, and we're from the band Gym Class Heroes, and you're checking out Wire TV.
And then just one more for WONY 90.9 FM. WONY is the radio station.
Oh,
You're
Yoni.
listening to WONY.
Salutations, this is Travie,
And this is Matt. We're from the band Gym Class Heroes.
and you're listening to WONY. Keep it locked. Holla. I was going to do
Beat
this
ya.
part.
I knew
knowing-
you were.